we're gonna start getting more work done. This guy here. Um, what do I want to work on? The skin. I need to work more on the skin. And honestly, the what I did for the hair is not doing it for me. Hmm. I think I may end up making the hair white. Edward Circle Maple, how you doing? I like how the moon looks. I think I'm gonna change the like this like rim to it. I think I'm gonna turn that into something else. I'm not sure. Part of me wants to make it like a ring of silver around it. Um, but I'm not sure yet. Um, but I don't like the hair, and the skin definitely needs to be like kind of reworked. I do want to keep the skin kind of a green blue. Let's see. What do I want to do here? I think what I want to do is, I mean, I don't think they're actually werewolves though. And I say silver, it could be steel. Let's see. All right, I need. Well, thank you. That's I mean it's the pretty much the same colors as the skin, which is why I also kind of want to change the skin up. Um all right, I'm gonna grab some asphaltum. I don't even remember what these two colors are over here. But let me, this needs to be remixed. All right, Maddie, have a nice one, man. Okay, well the first thing I'm gonna do is cover this yellow blonde hair. I don't like the way the hair looks. And it's dried, so I can't just wipe it off. We're just gonna paint over that. And yeah, I'm making my way to 500 followers. I'm gonna do a. I have to figure out a way to do like a multi, like over multiple streams, do a giveaway. Like people enter. I assume that's possible. And I know I'm not like the best of painters, or even like necessarily a good painter, but I'm willing to give away 2 hours of my time to anyone who wants to either um, learn how to use oils, wants to like troubleshoot things that they're having with oils, or just get some general assistance with color composition and things like that. I had the pleasure of sitting down for a little bit with Splinter Brush Studios off stream um, recently, talking about some of the things that I'm hoping to submit to things that I'm hoping to submit to Nova Open. What I'll probably end up doing next month. Yeah, it needs to be done in June. Start making time for doing some little touch ups. I don't know. I don't know if I want to do that on stream or not. That might be my off stream stuff. I have to think about that. So Nova has what's called, I think, Capital Palette, and what it is an open painting competition. So there's 3 tiers. You could enter in either amateur, novice, or it was like amateur. Yeah, I can't remember. It's 3 tiers: amateur, novice, and pro. Whatever they're exactly called, I'm not sure. And then there are 9 different categories that you can enter within those tiers. Um, Single model below 54 mil scale, single model above 54 mil scale, bust, vehicle, diorama, and squad/unit. Um, and you can enter 3 pieces in each category. So I'm going to submit, I think I have 9 pieces picked out. I'm going to enter, hey, PSK, do it, man. Enter into the beginner category. You'll get feedback. Nobody wants to see those nuts, PSK. So please don't enter these nuts, because then you'll just be laughed out of the competition. You don't like feedback? Okay, fair enough. But yes, I do. I'm going to enter in 3. So with 369, so I think it's 10 models I'm entering, because I have one. Technically, Kelly Speed is a vehicle. If my freaking, it won't come in time, but if my Evangelion garage kit ever comes in by then, I'll paint it up for the competition. But it'll never show up. Um, it'll never show up in time. Um, but yes, it is mostly a tabletop convention. Quite a lot of GW stuff. Um, but I did see stuff for like Marvel Crisis Protocol and X-Wing and the like. So it's not just GW. But I'm going there. I'll be taking one class from Brush for Hire, and then um, Then reminds me I need to hit that guy back up again. Took two. I was scheduled for two classes for one guy, and I sent him some messages on Instagram. He never got back to me, which makes me want to cancel the classes. Because if you don't have time to answer some basic, simple questions about your class to me, like I don't. You're confusing Nova with LVO. Okay. Yeah, Nova is in right near DC. I'm buying the contrast for Brush for Hire. Oh, you're taking his class. Yeah. Okay, cool. That's great, man. Darken up this armor. Yeah, man. We'll definitely I'm gonna spend all my time in the hobby area, assuming that there's enough seating. I don't think there's any gaming that I'm particularly looking for. All right. I'm gonna try to pay attention to light and shadow a bit more on this model. Did not really do so when I started it. I might bring a board game or two just to have something a little change of pace. Okay. Super Fantasy Brawl. Okay. All right. What color do I actually want his hair to be? I mean, it could be close to that. Maybe I just, not that I hated it just looked wrong. Let me grab, white is a thought. Like if I do it something kind of like, I could do it kind of like his stuff. So I could try that. Let's see, what do I need? I need this. You know, I should try that metallic silver on this model for the chains and the design on his shoulder strap. I'm gonna do that. Let's see. I need. Oh, his brush is all crusty. Dang it. I gotta have another one here. Let's see, is this the right size? Yeah, we're gonna try this number 4 filbert. Just making sure to get it mixed decently into the brush here. My only real concern is if it's going to be too same to the rest of the skin. No, no. I think I do want to keep it blonde, but it needs to just be a different tone than what I had. I'm thinking about the overall color composition of the piece here. So I'm gonna grab some of this yellow cad yellow I have. A little bit of this asphaltum to it. No, it's it's a color composition thing. Like I want it to be like this. I this piece I'm working on it being a little more traditional. I'm going for a very traditional look with this piece. So I am going to be maybe a little boring. I'm kind of trying to focus on fundamentals on this piece more than being kind of crazy. I need to kind of refine a couple of things. So I'm focusing on kind of one uh like one aspect of my painting skills at on this model. Um, which I understand, you know, a little disappointing, but I'm really trying to focus on getting to that next level of skill and being a little bit more um, careful with how I do some of the things. Now, granted, like still sloppy the way I'm doing this, right? Like I'm just slapping paint on with silver brush. You know, but I'm trying to focus on light and color more than, and by color I mean color composition, not trying to find something like super off the wall. But I mean, I already got a little bit of that with the moon, right? I got a little bit of that going, just not on the fur. All right, so we're going to one of the things I need to decide on, like before I get, I just like spit. Um, I need to decide on where the light is coming from. What I do here after I get like general. Okay, I think that looks better than what I had down there for sure. Okay, light direction. Do I want the model to be looked at from this angle or this angle? Let's see here. Is this the better angle? Is this the better angle? I think this might be the better angle. I don't know. Yeah, I think because on this side you get the chains, so I don't want that to be occluded in the stripe. So this is the better angle for the model. So what that means. Grabbing a little bit of that brilliant yellow pale, my cat yellow here. Get a bit more brighter tone, brighter tint. Should use the proper words. Okay. So if the light's coming down like this, that means what is that? swap a pigment or something. So go like that. If anybody's working on anything they'd like to share, Discord and Instagram links are whitelisted. You're welcome to show off what you're working on, what you're enjoying this fine day. And then for the higher highlights, I'll grab my liner brush here. Because usually I don't even try this delicate of a thing at this point in the model, but I should maybe start taking more time on single areas. think what I may need to do too, start adding a little bit of Payne's Gray. This French Gray from Williamsburg. I start using that to help me desaturate desaturate colors. Maybe start doing that a little bit more. That's just pulling all that yellow out. I think I ruined that color. A lot of these Williamsburg paints I way over thinned. What I'm going to do here is kind of scrape this mess up a bit with this sponge. I'm going to put some out on the palette and just leave it there for a while. Hopefully some of that mineral spirits will evaporate out. Okay. Fairly happy with that. too bright. That's where theoretically I should be able to grab this gray and knock it down. I don't think that's working. But then again, it's so thin. I goofed it. There we go. It's a little better. Let me try some actual Payne's Gray. Mhm. Wrong picture there. Told me I was wrong. There we go. Okay, let's re-engage with the skin tone here. Actually, let me try this real quick. Grab some of this Payne's Gray. I kind of help desaturate it. If you look at that side, right, versus that side. Yeah. All right. Let's see. I'm gonna need a brush here. I think I'm essentially just gonna go back over it with my. The base of that skin tone was Perline Black. I think I'm gonna just go back in with that. Maybe a little bit of blue in the darker shadows. I don't want to do like a warm. Might do just a touch of. Okay. So see what happens here. This might be the mistake. start on the darker side here. We do want just reglazing in this perling black so I can have something to paint into because I kind of want to re-establish how I'm doing my colors. Wasn't approaching this very well first time. I'm going to push some purple, I think, into the shadows. Hmm. Might need some more pearling black on here. Okay, let me get a little bit more pearling black on my palette here. Come on, there we go. Then for my purple, let me take a look at my color wheel here. So this green is kind of around here towards the center. I need like a dark, maybe something like this. Yeah, we're gonna do that. That'll be a good shadow color. Not quite as crimson as like alizarin crimson. I don't want the shadows to be too saturated. Yeah, I'm gonna just repaint all the skin. too heavy on the paint. All right, I've successfully uglied up this piece again. Gotta grab sponges and pull some of that off. Where are my scissors? Ah, do my normal thing here. Just be a little bit more careful. I don't want to ruin some of the paint I've done already on like the hair and other parts. All right. Then just realizing that probably what I'll end up having to do is waiting a bit. try this new approach, shall we? I do want to make him a bit more blue. Or I do want to push in some. Let's see how this works out. Yeah, adding this kind of deep, saturated pink into some of the deepest portions here. Oh, did you message me earlier, Orky? Sorry. I had your thing open. Hey, Nosferatu. Okay. Okay, good. I was like, I didn't get a message. Hey, no worries, man. You're still in you're transitory still. So definitely don't need to be available. Kind of repainting a handful of. I'm kind of redoing a scan on this guy. We'll see if doing this is going to end up being a mistake or not. some more. I don't think I want to paint in this into too many of the shadows yet. Might feather it in a little bit more later. Orky, you can always hopefully get a little bit of painting in after you get your food and settle in. All right. Excuse me. All right, we got a light gray and a cool gray. I think I'm going to use. This might be another color I need to retire the dropper bottle from. Later. Okay. So we're going to try the cool gray on this side. Thin this out a bit. It's a little stiff. Yeah, make sure there's no like chunks in it too. All right, make sure it's nice and thin on the brush. I don't mean wet, I mean thin. My little doggies have little puppy dreams. Jay Ninja Kid, thank you for the follow. What brings you in today? Excuse me. This does need to be a little more workable. It's a little too stiff. Yeah, I gotta try to remember. feather out the highlights. Well, not the highlights, but the midtones. Grab, cleaned out my brush there. And I'm just going to go back in. Push the paint around a little bit here. Slightest hint of that color. Some of these spots. What you can do is you can pull colors from the shadows out into your model. Pulling paint around, trying to figure out kind of the optimal lay of color. All I am right now is pushing paint around. It's on the model. Kind of feel that I need a little bit of shadow in my brush. So I'm gonna actually grab some of that perline. For some of these sides that are definitely underneath the muscle. So yeah, I just didn't take my time last time I did this. So it looks really rough. I was trying to like, I think I need to, I need to um, recognize that I'm not going to finish the model in as quickly as I think, and be a little bit more targeted in my painting from now on. What I mean by that is I still think I'll do the normal overall glaze that I've been doing to start. However, I do think that I'm going to just focus on one particular area on the model a bit more to start. Instead of jumping all over the model and trying to like, I think I'm just overextended. Like I'm rushing myself. Essentially, is what it comes down to. Phone is beep booping at me. Faces, I generally like to highlight up maybe a little bit more, even if it doesn't quite work for the lighting. All right, let's see here. And I think I will go back in with that magenta pink color. My music is silent on me. I'll check that in a second. What's going on? Yes. Where's my music? Why is there like a minute long dead space on that song? Okay, so this is what it looks like on this side right now. And that's what it looks like on this side. So highlighted it up a bit. But on the other side, it's going to be brighter. focus camera. So this is a like where I have the camera is kind of the idea of where I want this lighting source to be coming from. I'm going to be looking at the camera for a lot of this. I'm going to do might be too gray. I'm going to split the difference here. I'm going to grab how do I want to do this? It's going to be rough looking at first. Use this to sketch out where I want colors. Let's just keep using the blue for now, and then I'll highlight up more with the lighter gray. It's pretty much entire top of the head. I really love using filbert brushes. Goof there. Definitely want some of this back here. A little bit more of this. Definitely get a lot of this done here. Again, going back into it with a cleaner brush. I'll get to that in a second. Now we're just going to kind of come back in here and clean up the transitions. All this kind of splotchy work I did. Feather that out. If I need to grab some of the underpaint, I'll grab some of the underpaint. And this guy. Let's see. Back of his hand here. Again, this is the angle we're taking, which actually means hello, Hootie Gwirl? Tigwell. We're just gonna go with that. How are you doing? Trying to work in here on Garmr from Journeyman Miniatures, a reimagining of one of the old Rockham confrontation models. Well, thank you, Hootie. I'm trying to pay a little bit more attention to light in shadow today as I kind of re-engage with the lessons that I was supposed to take away from my painting classes that I took in Adepticon. And it is a very fun model. Oh, you found from Yes, yeah. Walpole is the godfather of kind of a lot of this, and learned a lot from him. I don't catch him as often as I used to. He streams so late, and I've been having to work pretty earlier. The inspiration to go the oils route, is that what you mean? So even though this is the thing that's getting me right. So if I want the light to be coming from the view of the camera, right? What does that mean? I have to paint into this shadow. And what got me to, honestly, it was I was getting frustrated with my acrylics, and this was about 2.5 years ago, and things just weren't working out the way that it was coming in my head. So I started using a lot of oil, not oils, inks, and just like a shitload of um, slow dry medium. And I happened to find Wapelius' stream somehow. I actually don't remember how I originally found his stream, but I watched him paint that 1/2 scale Carol Rudick bust and thought that was super cool. And the stuff he was talking about oils was like, well, that's what I'm trying to do with acrylic ink and all this drying retarder. So I went to Michael's. I bought a couple of Winton paints, and within about 3 months, um, I started giving away my acrylic paints. I still have some airbrush paints. That's still useful to have around. But yeah, that's pretty much what happened. And it's been um yeah, it's been about 2.5 years now. Well, there's not a lot of people who were doing it that are visible. People have been using oil paints forever for like things like Flames of War, for scale models, for weathering, that kind of stuff. Like that's been a thing. But the mini painting world is very much dominated by many paint manufacturers and their brands. And so you don't see it a whole lot. And it's kind of a self fulfilling prophecy. People learn because it's really easy to find. Like it's super easy to find like how to paint this thing, and it's going to be in acrylic. So people learn and don't even like, they go to a store and, their local hobby store is going to have Games Workshop, Scale 75, Army Painter, stuff like that. And my if you're interested in it, all I can say is you know grab a bust, something like this doesn't have to be as complicated. Um, and just give it a shot. Get yourself some Winton oils or Gamblin oils, like just a nice starter set, and give it a shot. And I stream Wednesdays and Saturdays starting 6 p.m. Eastern, and I generally go for 4 hours, but lately it's only been 3 because my wrist is all jacked up. And Happy Heretic, the reason it's got a very confrontation feel to it is because it's literally a confrontation model. So Journeyman Miniatures got the rights to a bunch of the concept art. So they have been remaking like that picture. That is the concept art for Garmr for the Wolfen from Convertation. And so they reimagined a bunch of their models and they're going to be putting out more stuff. And Hootie, I hurt my wrist somehow. I don't know how. And it hurts to bend. So like doing I because I'm weird. Like when I generally paint, I hold my brush like this, and I think it causes strain in my wrist, and I have a oh, what's the word? A ganglion cyst that is quite large and uncomfortable on my wrist. And Azure Knight, thank you for the follow. We are 2 follows away to our giveaway that we'll be doing. Once we get 500 followers, I'm going to figure out how to do a giveaway across the week of streams. And I will be offering 2 hours of my time. We can hop on Discord and we can talk about how to learn how to oil paint on your minis. I'll donate some of my time. It'll give me an opportunity to try out some of the things that I want to do for class in the future. I am thinking about next year, kind of not really partnering up with Wapelius, but kind of, Wapelius will teach maybe some more advanced oil classes, and I'll do like a really basic one. Need to talk to him a bit more about it. And also, I'll probably teach a class at Nova next year too. See, depending on how I feel about it, coming out of after I see what it's all about this year. Reestablishing that I kind of don't want brighter colors underneath the chin. Neon Clad Jade Falcon green. You can definitely get a nice jade green out of, and you can get some phthalo green. There's actually a phthalo emerald too that I think that Gamblin makes. I'm not 100% sure what it looks like once you tint it out. But yeah. And of course, oh, I don't think I fixed the. In fact, I know I didn't. Let me fix the. Don't do that. Let me go to my. Don't play it, please. Don't play nothing. Can I not see below my stream right now? What's going on? Load. Give me a second here. Copy link. Copy link. I need to fix my commands. This. Edit. There we go. So exclamation point oils will, so doing this, will throw the link out to the oil document that I've been putting together with the help of a couple other people. Feel free to save a copy, share it. Preferably you share the actual link so people who come across it will know where it's coming from. But it's a resource I've put together for people that are looking to get into oils. I also use it as a reference quite often for how colors tint out and stuff like that. Okay, so this side it looks kind of like that. This side is a bit brighter. I'm going to make it a little bit more higher tint. Feather out some of these bits here real quick. Yeah, I need to look up how to do giveaways that, like the timer or whatever, will cross streams. I'm not sure if it will. I might have to look for a third party way to do I'm trying to keep the paint fairly thin in the brush. So you load up your brush like you would a dry brushing with acrylics, but you don't apply it onto the model like you're dry brushing. Nosferatu trying that oils. Phew, thanks for the background noise. Why painted top copper? AT Roger. Look at that. Looks like copper to me. I hope since you're doing chibi, you're gonna do like some serious black lining. Are you gonna do, or are you gonna not? I would do black lining if I was gonna be doing a chibi. And yeah, ultramarines. All you got to do is get ultramarine. Here, look. Here, look. Ultramarines in a tube right there. Oop. Hey, wait. There we go. Ultramarine. You line in dark purple, not comic style. Okay. Okay. Yeah. You prime model however you want to prime your model. There's nothing special for oils for that. Awesome. Yeah, Prussian blue actually is better than French ultramarine for a lot of things. Prussian blue is like the probably the most versatile blue, but whatever reason, traditional painters use French ultramarine. Not 100% sure why. I think it's because it's not quite as strong a tinter. Um, Prussian blue is pretty strong, and if you're mixing a bunch of colors, having to fight the Prussian blue is not something you want. You just finished this. Well, that looks great. Let's see. You got that rust. Well, I'm guessing, is that texture you put on the blade, or is that part of the sculpt? All the little rust textures I'm seeing. It's paint. Okay, that looks really cool. I like that. Only thing that I'm seeing that stands out that kind of looks off from everything else on the model is whatever's going over the right shoulder there. It's one of those critters. There's like a weird way too white harsh transition from a blue to a white. Part of that is just the angle that it's shot from. That little like blue to white, like turquoise to bright white, real quick is kind of odd, especially considering how everything else is fairly transitioned. Oh, that's not bad, man. Not bad. Get the eyeballs. Light coming out of the back. Okay, straight into color. All right. It just looks it just looks a lot different than the other stuff. Let's go. How close? I'm not close. I'm redoing the skin entirely. um, like the things that aren't even like not even begun really is like the ropes on all of it. I haven't touched it all. The shoulder thing I haven't really touched. A lot of this I haven't really messed with. The moon is pretty close to where I want it to be. The axe is pretty close to where I want it to be. The hair is pretty close to where I want it to be, but everything else is either essentially not started at all yet or has a lot of work to do. Yeah, I would love to I would love to get my hands back on the confrontation minis. I used to have all the Wolfen, all of them. But I may have showed this last time, but I have one. A buddy of mine gave me a limited edition confrontation figure he was never going to get around to painting. And not the same character, but at least I don't think so. Is this the same dude? No, no, no. He doesn't have the big moon. I can't remember this guy's name. Man, these metal figs are I remember that carrying case I used to have weighed like 30 pounds. Yeah, their sculptures were all really, really cool. So I'm really glad that someone else is finally picking it back up after all of these years. It's been like 20 years. So I'm gonna try something a little tricky here. Um, Once I kind of lay out some stuff, because I'm trying to pay attention to Mortal Light, and if I want this to read like he's out in kind of um, sunlight, I need to throw in because he's got this gray, like you see in the how like he's a gray in the in this here, right? How even though it's gray, there's warm kind of yellows in there, and that's because of the sun. So I want to throw in a little bit of warmth into some spots, and by spots I mean edges. Trying to kind of use the camera as the reference for where I want the light to generally be coming from. The angle that you're looking at is my like hypothetical light source. I'm really bad at light, something I'm trying to get better at. I find I'm fairly sure I will end up giving Journeyman miniatures a lot of money in the future. Um, I will happily support, like, kind of part of it's nostalgia, part of it is like, kind of recovering a part of my, childhood where I lose, not child, no, that's not my childhood, but part of my past that I lost due to, financial problems I had, not being able to make ends meet and having to sell a bunch of stuff that I owned to make ends meet. I gotta pull this freaking. And like getting my hands on actual original confrontation models is not cheap. And there was that Russian company that was like recasting them or whatever, but even those weren't cheap. I got mixed feelings about getting something like that anyway, but like they were not cheap models. And I maybe didn't need to kind of repaint it as the way I did it, but I felt it was just probably easier just to throw my underpaint color back down onto the model and try again. I'm gonna have to grab my Perlene black here. Actually, what I need to do is take a quick break because what I would like is some beer. So I think I'm going to do that here. We'll be back in just a moment. Don't go anywhere. All right, all right. Cheers. Happy Wednesday. This is a terrible beer, but I bought a six pack, so I'm drinking it. I think this there's like a it's flying dog. This one's called Royal Crush, and I thought it was going to be like a citrusy wheat beer, but it's like a shitty Radler. And disappointed. Green Fairy Studios, if you're still around, let me know. I want to show you something. If anybody has any questions, I'm trying to kind of talk through what I'm doing here, but I know mostly all the same stuff at the moment. Nothing, not hopping around today. Focusing on the skin, trying to get everything done till I'm happy with it. Generally, when I start a model, I go all over the place. Now that this is session 2 with the model, I'm trying to focus in on pieces. So I think I need to grab back I need to grab more of the Pearline Black here. Pearline Black is this kind of transparent, dull green black. I think I need to kind of reestablish this. Lightest hint of color down here. Okay, let's see. feather that out there. Black skull. This is Perline Black. Which is this stuff here. It is a transparent like green black. I like using it a lot for like iron and stone, but it also works as a nice kind of green gray. And then I'm just using Gamlin makes some opaque grays that I like to use because they're opaque. And I'm using they have a cool gray that I'm using and a light gray. Light gray, you can kind of see it here on the palette. Um, I need to figure out if anybody has a good solution on how to light a palette without seeing a reflection. I'd love to know. But you can't see it because of the ring. My light over this thing is. Let's see. Can I? Nope. See. There you go. I mean, it's just like an off white. It's a light gray. And just blending those together in hopes that it gives me this kind of look that I want. And what I'm going to do, maybe, I haven't decided if I want to make him furry. What I mean by that is if I want to do fur texture. And if I do want to do that, I might wait until the paint's cured some. Because that way, if I mess up a spot, I can easily wipe it off without obliterating the. There's nothing wrong with those grays. There's a reason why they made them. Because sometimes you want to make a transparent color opaque and you want to change its tone. So the only way to do that, to shade those colors, is to use a opaque gray. They're not to do more for texture than model gave. Yeah, like this particular model, because of the art style that I'm trying to be at least somewhat faithful to, I'm not sure I want to do it. I might, try it, and if I don't like it, I can always just wipe it off. I might try it on like one area and just see. Um, we will have to see how that takes me. But like I said, I'll wait until after the paint's cured, so I don't have to worry about it obliterating my painting everything in. And yep, I am bringing up the highlights in this like area here a little bit more because this is the direction that I want the light coming from. Let's see. I think I want a bit of fur. Yeah, like 'cause, I mean they did like some of this stuff, right? All like the actual like hair, but yeah, I don't remember there being a lot of fur texture on the models. I'm not 100% sure how easy that is to pull off in metal. Um, but I generally don't do much of that. But I've been wanting to give it I've been wanting to give it a shot. I don't think I've done anything really that. Well, the Batpacker would have been a good model to try that on. I didn't do that. Okay, so I'm gonna fix this blend here real quick, and then we're going to do or die with a little bit of yellow, so I can have some sunlight. Um, and I am stubbornly using like a single brush for a lot of this. I love using filberts for any large surfaces. I will happily use a filbert. Ooh, there's a little bit of there. There we go. That is muy bueno. Okay, I'm gonna pull up. I'm gonna crack open my book here that I was reading earlier, and I've been showing this book off lately. So zoom out a little bit. We're not gonna break copyright here, but this is a book I've been recommended by several people at this point. Color and Light by James Gurney. You can get this on the interwebs, um, but it's got a lot of info on how light and whatnot works. And I'm going to reference some stuff here real quick. I need to finish reading it. I haven't gotten very far in it, unfortunately. Let's see. This hand horn. Now it's going to be a good old top down. I'm going to grab. Now thinking about it, I probably shouldn't be using a opaque. I shouldn't be using an opaque. Let's see, what's a good. I got this lemon yellow here. I can try. Let's see, do I have anything else? I've got Windsor lemon. What's cooler? Windsor yellow is cooler. Windsor yellow here. Let me mix this up. Oh. Seems too bright. I don't know if I want to use something that bright. Look at the differences across these yellows here. Yeah, I don't think I actually want to use that color, even though I just put it on the palette. I want to use this cadmium yellow deep. I'm going to have to use a glaze medium. Clean up the edge here. If you ever get gunk around the edge, just grab one of your little makeup sponges here and kind of just drag it through the threads. Clean the gunk off of it. If it's really bad, I've put down some like mineral spirits. This one probably needs a little bit of mineral spirits. I'll do that off camera later. I tell you what, CDR's nothing beats oils. I can't imagine. Yeah, I think what I'll end up doing for like maybe a bonus stream or something like that in the near future. Do some 2D art. My issue is that I kind of want to practice it first before subjecting people to it on camera. Because I don't have any, like I've done like 2 pieces ever, and they were both very amateurish. Um, right, just like I just need just the smallest bit of this cad yellow deep. So I bought a bunch of the same art boards that Wapelius likes to use to try out. I got them off of Dick Blick. There's these like these 5x7 hot press board. Brand is called Crescent. Um, I think I'm gonna do simple like fantasy landscapes first. Um, there's like a handful of like old anime back like landscapes from like fantasy animes that I'd really like to do. The first one I want to do, actually, I'll show it real quick. The first one I want to do is, let's see, this one right here. Let's see. I want to do this. Copy image link. Will that work? There we go. Not necessarily Studio Ghibli. I want to do a bunch of backgrounds from an anime called El Hazard. uh, it was the first anime that I like purchased with my own money. Um, so even though it's not a particularly great anime, it kind of holds a little special place in my heart, I guess. But I want to paint that on the board, and I think it's easy enough that I can do it. Like it's not super complicated, but it's still interesting looking. I have no idea what it was originally done in Defiant Bidet. No clue. I'll have to look. I have to look up some stuff too because I'm trying to remember what a lot of the a lot of the backgrounds in the old Star Wars movies were hand painted, but I don't remember if they were oils or acrylics or what. Okay, I need. Where is? I need oil. I don't know if that's any good anymore. You would suggest this coast? It does look a little watercolory. Um, I won't argue that point for sure. All right, I'm gonna get some Gal Kit out. Maybe that'll be a nice way to thin this. Let's see, can I actually get it out of the bottle? Come on. Why is it that I've never seen? Because I've seen. However you actually pronounce that? Is it gouache? I've never seen it anywhere to buy. Like I've never seen it at an art store. I've seen watercolors. I've seen acrylics and oils. I've seen gesso. Is it okay? Maybe I just didn't ever look close enough to watercolors. Maybe that's the thing. Maybe I need to start painting my minis in gouache. There actually is a couple of pieces that I want to do a little watercolor style to. Um, the this piece. Oh, let me grab it. My hands are clean enough. Okay. I think this piece would be cool. Uh, Done in kind of a watercolory style. Come on, camera. What are you doing? What's happening? This is from Axis Mundi. Uh, they have a Kickstarter coming out eventually for a board game that's gonna kind of be like Kingdom Death. But it's been a long, long road. Bedtime for Bonzo. Jesus Christ, you're old, Nosferatu. Have a nice night. Let's see. Oh, God. Scrape the barnacles off for you, old man. Go to bed. Let's see. Did some Moonstone minis for a friend and more watercolor. Yeah, and there was somebody else I saw today, I think, or yesterday in Brush for Hire stream that had like kind of a watercolor style thing. But I think something like this would look cool in that. They do the concept art for a lot of Axis Mundi stuff is very watercolory. It's got a lot of like streaks of color across things and stuff like that. Which I mean works a little easier with 2D art, but I want to give that a shot. Maybe do it on that part, piece. Let me try maybe a less complicated piece. Okay, this may end up being a huge mistake, and you guys will be able to spam that at me. We did a few models Grimdark style, which is that freeform muddy style GW art. Isn't is that it isn't? Is that supposed to be there? Is in? Yeah, but GW it has like and I'll have a hot take on that, right? You look at a lot of that old GW art, and yeah, it's that grimdark, muddy, very free style. But look at what they encourage people to paint. Not even close. It confuses me. Like the art style from their concept art, or at least their old concept art. I couldn't tell you what their new stuff looks like. I have no idea. But like the night and day. I personally can't stand the everything must have razor highlight edge highlights. I personally can't stand that. The old concept art. I mean, I'm not a huge grimdark. Like it's just too monochromatic for me, but it at least looks better than the heavy metal style stuff that's done now. Trying to figure out what color I want to make this solar highlight, whatever you want to call it. All right. Oh, time for some huge mistakes. You don't learn without experimenting. So, give this a shot here. Trying to make sure it's mixed decently in the brush here. Not have a whole lot of it. So always go back and get more. Need more. All right, so now we're just kind of gonna do like this. We're gonna have more of a. Did I do it that way? No, we're gonna keep it like this. We're gonna keep it in the same it wouldn't make sense for it to be like what I was just about to do. Let's see what happens if I try to throw a little bit of that on. This also might be something that's better done after it's dry. We're giving this a shot here. We're giving this is something I need to do more often anyway with surfaces is take the advantage of the fact that I can make oils. They're either already very transparent or easily make them so. And add some freaking reflected color. How do you do, fellow painter? How you doing, Farah? That works. I am happy with this. Ooh, I need to see if I can find a cool Trigun background. Though I think most of the landscapes there are all deserts. That wouldn't be super interesting. Close enough. Close enough. All right. I was looking at E2046 a little bit yesterday because I still have the it's been over a year and some change now that I pre-order that Evangelion Eva 1 kit. And I was like, you know what? I'm just going to cancel this and, you know, swap it in for something that actually exists for shipment. And there's like nothing that is not sold out and already ready to ship that I want for that website right now, which is a little annoying. Because I want to paint a freaking full body freaking Eva 1 model. Just give it to me. Just send it to me, please. But no, it's been on pre order forever. And even when it's no longer on pre order, it's still going to probably take 3 months to get here. Yeah, I have seen them, and I've been tempted to just go ahead and pick one up. Um, but the one that I purchased was really cool, and I would really like to have it. But yeah, I was looking around on the website to see what I might want to cancel, and couldn't find anything I was interested in. I'm just blazing in just a touch of yellow. I think I'm happy with that. Yeah. I mean, like, I'm no, this is wet. Um, I took some Galkid, um, which is a thinning quick dry medium that levels brush strokes, and I'm using that. Like, this stuff is like already dry on the palette pretty much, and I'm just kind of glazing that in to um, fur here, or the skin tone, whatever you want to call it, just to give it a little bit of the color, the ambient outdoor. If he's going to be out in the sun, going to be a little bit of that on the skin where the sunlight is the strongest. So I'm not going to do any of that on this side. This is going to be stay a little bit cooler, right? This is a lot brighter than this side. I mean, he's not really a werewolf. It's a wolf-in. Werewolves can go out in the sun. Yeah, that. I mean, that's not going to be. I'm honestly probably going to do really lazy on that, or I'll use the metallic silver. Maybe that's something I can do before calling it a night. I feel like I'm hitting a roadblock with the skin, though. At this point, I think I'm going to glaze in a little bit of this deep pink that I have into some of the shadows, and then move on from there. Then what we can do is I can demo out that metallic silver. It's already dry. There we go. Little mineral spirits will pick that up. Well, I mean, I'll paint each individual link, but I'm gonna get it with the metallic silver. Okay. Yeah, I'm not sure if it's green leather or not. I just felt like putting green here, but I'm wondering if I should change the color because of it being too similar to the skin tone. So I'm thinking I might actually change it to something else. I don't know. The beads, they definitely need to be not anything close. Those need to be like red. All right. Let me push more of this deep pink into some shadows. Where's the Egyptian violet? The Egyptian violet's not on this model. No Egyptian violet on this model. Purple is probably not going to end up in it in the piece. Got this Carnachanum deep pink, which is kind of a violet, but it's not nearly as saturated as a violet. Not nearly. Nope, that is true. Purple and gold. Purple, yeah, purple, green, and gold are a tri right whatever it's called. It's a thing. I'm thinking like along the Terminator lines, or the darker shadows have this not necessarily in the deepest shadow. The deepest shadows can continue to be the um the deepest dark curling black, but along the Terminator lines of the shadow. Um, I haven't messed with her. Like the last thing I did work on work on this stuff, the cogs. I haven't had a chance to mess with her really. Part of it is I'm waiting. Hopefully this weekend I'll have a chance to mix up some of the chameleon paints that I want to try to use on their gemstones. If that works out, Saturday I'll work on gemstones because she's got like 30 of them. And then I need to paint her eyes in, and then from there, kind of see where I want to go. I do really want to get her finished. I absolutely will finish her by August. I need to finish her by the beginning of August so I can make sure she's nice and cured so I can varnish her and submit her to Nova. Kind of terrified about her, being submitted and all, but I mean, what else? Like, yeah, art and fear, art and fear. Paints seem like I just got some kosher. So yeah, like so they use this stuff in cosmetics. Um, how well it'll work for what I'm going to try to do, I'm not sure. Part of me wants to do some cosmetics on her, like do some sort of uh, makeup on her. I'm definitely going to give her lipstick of some kind, but it's not going to be red. It's going to be something. I look at her, probably that'd be actually a good place to put some Egyptian violet is on her lips, or a green, actually, kind of like actually an emerald green would look really nice. I got Let's Resin. Is that a brand? I don't have the stuff near me, otherwise I'd show it on stream. Um, but it looks really cool. Whether or not it works with oils, we'll have to see. See, I've used dried pastel shadings to make powder and applying the colors rouge. Yeah, like part of me wishes like my wife really doesn't do makeup much. Uh, so like I wish I knew somebody that had like really good makeup skills. Otherwise, it'd be like, hey, show me how to do makeup because the 1/3 skill bust, you can just literally use a powder brush and try that. So the stuff that I have looks different than that. So that does look cool though. But the stuff I have is like multi-tone. It's not duotone. This looks like it's duochrome. Kind of like the Pearl X pigments. Let's see, mica powder. Yeah, this looks kind of like duochrome uh, powders. Maybe not. I don't know. Yeah, I mean, you could absolutely. I mean, it's literally the same pigments. The stuff from weathering kits for models is it's the same stuff. It's all this. It's iron oxides and earth. Sorry, my brain is shutting down on me. Earth pigments and stuff like that. And same stuff. The stuff for makeup has to be safe for skin absorption, and they generally grind it finer than you'll see in acrylic and oil paint. Um, but like stuff, those little like packs from like Vallejo or AK Interactive or whatever that you see for like weathering, that's makeup. 100% makeup. Because with these little eyeshadow brushes, they're just repackaging makeup. But no, I don't know anybody who's good with makeup. Otherwise, I'd have them kind of help me out with doing like a cool makeup job on Thanatos. But what I'll probably do is just look up some like goth goth girl makeup tutorials and try to do something. I don't want it to be like super gothy, but I want to have like something. I want to put eyeshadow on her. Yeah, I'm not sure either. I could bring her out for show and tell here in a second. Anybody hasn't seen the long-term project I've been working on. Uh-oh. Spinner Brush, welcome in. Da, da. Mom, call the dog. Spinner Brush, welcome in, you fantastic man. Let's see. Hopefully you guys are getting past the ad wall. But if anybody happens to not be following Splinter Brush Studio, go and follow them. Fine gentlemen who does pretty damn good work. How you doing, Solid Seth? Welcome in, welcome in. I'm currently working on Garmr from Journeyman Miniatures, who is reimagining a bunch of the old confrontation stuff. So if you were a miniature gamer back in the early aughts, You may have seen this game. Models looked, the Wolfen models at least, looks kind of looked like this. Pewter, heavy as hell. Um, Absolutely amazing models for the time. They blew everything out. Everything else on the market, they were far above and beyond. And I'm super stoked. I used to have the entire Wolfen line. I was complaining earlier that many moons ago I had to sell them off in order to make ends meet. So I'm excited to get my hands on stuff inspired by the artist that originally did a lot of the artwork for a confrontation. And those who are new here, hello. Punexpected. I am one of those dirty oil painters. Paints all my stuff in oils. So everything that you see on the palette here in my hand is stuff like this. At the moment, I'm pushing some this like kind of quinacridone pink, a deep, kind of like mid-value uh, pink. It's not super saturated, but I'm using it to like kind of throw Terminator lines into the edges of my skin tones. So not the occlusion shadows from the stuff that's in the deepest recesses, which are going to be near black, but the Terminator lines where the shadow kind of begins, but still has some reflected light from the surrounding area. So I'm throwing in this ink to kind of give it just a little bit of something else in the skin tone. Anybody coming in who's working on anything they'd like to share, their Instagram, anything that they got on Discord they'd like to share, you're more than welcome to. Curious to see what people are working on. Billy Savalas, hello, evening. Splinterbrush might have spoked bomb. That's okay. How you doing, man? How the your camera cooperate with you today? Hopefully it did. No? Oh, okay. Okay. False started. I gotcha. No, I understand the woes. Getting used to new gear is a pain in the butt. All right, what do I want to? I think I need to take a step back from the skin. Um, though I do need to make those scars more scar-like. So how am I going to do that? Blue fur. I mean, I could just use this color I got right here. Let's see what that looks like. If it looks wrong, then I'll fix it. Let's see what you. Let me click. Let me click. Give my hand a break. I'm cast up. I got a jacked up wrist that I'm dealing with. Ooh, that's creepy. Trees with teeth. I don't like it. Okay. What is that from? I don't. I am ignorant of most things. I like it, but I hate it. If that makes sense. That creeps me out. The teeth creep me out. Nolzur's unpainted mini shambling mound. Shambling mound is in like the Dungeons and Dragons critter. That's a critter. That's a critter. Dungeons and Dragons critter, right? It's been a while. Okay. Cool. 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 Yeah. Got a good, fairly broad amount of colors on there. Excuse me while I enjoy a beer for a moment. Give my hand a little bit of a time to rest. But yeah, those of you who are new, let me show off some finished stuff while I'm kind of taking a break here. Things that I'm just recently finishing. Oh, we got Kingdom Death pin up here. This is the Titan Bee pin up from Kingdom Death. Camera needs to stop wobbling, but are you okay, camera? We got her done up recently. I got to do a little tweaks on the creepy baby face grubs, but they're very tiny. Uh, so then also recently, guy decided that he's done. This is Bombay Jack by Ariadna. I don't know where my box went. If you search for Bombay Jack, you'll find them. Yay Sounds. But did him too. I picked this guy up at Adepticon from the Scale 75 booth. I think Scale 75 cast it, but I think Ariadna um, designed it. Paint a lot of Kingdom Death stuff, then other little art pieces, like this dude. Let's see. Sounds are back. Belfera threw a link up. What was Belfera working on? Belfera's working on the chip for Cortana. Ah, you're still working on Cortana. Okay. Yellow stuff. Why are you masking? Out of curiosity, did you airbrush stuff? That's a long term project you got going there. But you've had to put some weight in the hand. Ah, okay. Gotcha. Covering stuff. Okay. Cool. Ugh. Oh man, define a day. I there okay, so there was a moment that I mean granted, I know this is maybe not a big deal for some people, but I had like one had one, two, three, had five different projects that I hadn't finished that were sitting around. And now I'm only down to calling those last two I just showed done, which might be I got like one like little thing to do on it, but I'm calling her done. I only have this and Thanatos. So you know what? Before I hop back in paint, I'm gonna show Thanatos off. Grab her. This is a long-term project I've been working on. This is a 1/3 scale layout. So let's go back. Let's grab a here's uh a 30 millimeter model next to this thing. Let me, come on, camera. Let me out here. So, been working on her. A lot of trying out a bunch of different gold stuff. Um, I got a bunch of gemstones that I'm gonna be working on next. She's got like you see like all of these on here, a bunch of gemstones. Even got some down here. And then her back is all bruised up. She's got these big gashes in her that let's see, this big cog that's going to be stuck in her back on this side here. And I got to do like some pen line washes of some rust and stuff like that to make this a bit fix that up a bit. And then she's got like some spikes and stuff coming out of her back like this. But I hope to finish her up um, by the beginning of August. I plan on submitting her to Nova Open in the bus category. Yeah, she's a big old lady. It's a good 5 pounds of resin. Well, you know, it very well may be part of the contributing factor to my fucked up wrist. Well, no, that wouldn't make sense because I'm usually holding that with my left hand. I don't know. My wrist is fucked up. But when I paint it, yeah, it's exhausting to hold. I can only do like I say so my first I did a 12-hour stream. It's still in the I think I saved it. So it's in the underneath all of this stuff at the bottom of the stream. The clips or whatever. But I did a 12-hour stream to start her off and my hand cramped for like 2 days. I took breaks though. Okay. You know what? Let me keep working on the face. So what I'm going to do is let's see, is this still wet at all? It is. There's some Lizard and Crimson in here that I'm going to grab. I'm going to throw that into this mouth. Yeah, I'm really looking forward to finishing that piece. I'm trying to, I've got some like pigments that I'm trying to make to do in the gemstones, which hopefully this weekend I'll have a chance to mess with that. Um, I've been messing around making some of my own paints. Mixed results so far. Wait, wolves have like pink gums, right? Yeah. For a moment, I was doubting myself because I know some animals have like black gums. I'll have to look at what a wolf's mouth looks like. Feeling that something's not right here. Let me do those teeth. I think it'll look a little less awkward if I got the teeth done. Actually, too, before I get even to that, I'm going to do. Where's my indigo? Not that. Indigo. I'm going to got a little bit of jewelry on his ears. I'm going to knock that out real quick. Or at least get it black. Using some indigo, which is a nice deep blue that tints up really nicely into like a steel gray with just some white. Add to the brush here. Do I want that silver or gold, actually, now that I think about it? I think it needs to be gold. I'm going to make those gold. You may say, well, pun, why? And that's because I'm trying to have contrast on the model. So instead of putting a cool metal against cool skin, I'm going to put a warm metal against cool skin, kind of like how I did the hair blonde. So you can contrast a bit with the model. And that's just a stylistic choice. It's not required. But that's what I want to do. I have this asphaltum. I need a little bit of red, which I have It's more purple than red, though. I need like a good old Terra Rosa coming to my rescue. A little bit of that out here on the palette. Do not need much of it at all. Rose is a very strong tinting color. One of the various iron oxide paints, pigments out there. Use that as a ground color for warm metal. If anybody's still hanging around for Splintered Brush, we are approaching 500 followers here. Once we hit that goal, I'll be doing a giveaway for a little bit of an oil painting session. Kind of niche, I realize. But if you are interested in maybe giving a different medium a chance, you will have 2 hours of my time to hop on Discord with me. We can talk about how to practice with oils, how to pick a model out, whatever it is you'd like to do. I have some acrylic painting background, but at this point, I've actually been, well, no, not quite yet. By the end of the year, I will have more time under my belt painting with oils and acrylics. So ADD. I know I just said that I was going to work on the freaking teeth. Might actually try the new copper metallic paint that I picked up. Next time I sit down and clean up these earrings. But I wanted to get a nice base coat of this Terrarosa down on it first. All right. Teeth. I think that asphalt's not work. I will have to look at that later. All right. So we got our asphaltum down here. That is perfectly good ground for teeth. Let's get these teeth worked on, and then I think that'll be it for the evening. Get them started at least. Thanks for popping into Fine Bidet. Appreciate you hanging around. I appreciate everybody popping in. It gives me, it actually helps being distracted. It might sound weird, but I find that if I can distract myself while I paint, I don't waffle, I don't overanalyze. I just try to go and paint. So anytime there's people hanging out in the stream, I do greatly appreciate it. This is all just a hobby for me. This is my way to decompress. So having people come around and join in is always nice. I don't know why I keep trying to use this small brush. Where's my other brush? I'm stressing my wrist out here. My dumbass keeps trying to bend my wrist like I'm not supposed to bend my wrist. Why I have the brace on it, but I'm fighting against the brace to try to bend my wrist back this way. Try to get this wrapped up here shortly because I can't remain live for too much longer. Cubicle mines do not mine themselves. I'm going to grab my usual go-to for teeth is a nice unbleached titanium. Looks like this, kind of like a khaki color. Nice off-white. It's nice and opaque. Actually dries pretty fast too, it seems. It's a good bone color. Actually, what I want to do here, I need like a tiniest little bit of take my little sponge here and pull off some of that excess paint. See, a little bit of that paint came off there. That's intentional. I want some of that to come off. Make it a little easier to blend. All right. We're not going to use that brush for that. Too small. And then what I'll do is I'll go in with that other brush, get some whites in there, closer, truer whites than this off-white here. gonna have to use a smaller brush now. Touch of that brown yellow pale act as a off-white. A little bit of fuzz in there. This poor brush is getting more and more curled. right. Looks like I got a face now. Always good. Eyes. Touch of this pink. The way the eyes have a little bit of pink in it. Make that a little bit grayer on this side. There we go. Not quite as bright on this side. All right. I think that's as much as I can handle tonight. All right. So this is where we are at for the evening. I had to redid all of his skin. Um, a bit happier with it now. Redid his hair, happier with it. Got his teeth in, beginning of the eyes. We're going to keep working on this. Chances are